This is The Great Expanse by John Bat 426 here on YouTube. It is always a pleasure to record these videos, to edit them, to put my unique spin on them, so that they'll make me distinct, so that these videos will stand out and stand among the other great reactors out there doing their thing. And much respect, much success to all of you guys reacting here on YouTube. Well, if you've liked the videos that you've seen thus far, hit the like button. If not, hit the dislike button. Share these videos with other people that you know that like comic book related stuff as much as you do. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell for notifications. Which one? All. Not personalized or the one underneath, but all. So the next time a new video is dropped, you'll know about it second. I'll know about it first. One breath champ. Yes. Now, you already know what the video is about because you hit the thumbnail to hear what I had to say about it. Anyway, Disney reportedly scrapping Marvel movie halfway through development. This project has been beleaguered. A great word by The Great Expanse by John Bat 426. Beleaguered, I think. I hope that's right. Anyway, a great word for The Great Expanse by John Bat 426. Blade. Reportedly, Blade with Mahershala Ali in this sort of reboot of the Wesley Snipes Blade Trinity movies is done. It's gone. It's out of here. Do you ever think about... Anyway. So the author is Avril Fong. All right. So let's get into the article. Here we go. It's a whole bunch of stuff before the article. Okay. Over the course of several years, Kevin Feige has served as the president of Marvel Studios, a subsidiary of the Walt Disney Company. In this role, he has guided the superhero powerhouse inspired by Marvel Comics and has made a lasting impact on the film industry through the creation of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU. In case you didn't know what that meant. The zenith of Phase 3 in the MCU was reached with the release of Avengers Infinity War 2018 and Avengers Endgame 2019, and I would agree with that, marking a momentous achievement for the franchise. These movies highlighted the genre's remarkable evolution and firmly established its standing in the realm of entertainment. The culmination of this era also signaled the conclusion of the first three phases of the MCU, collectively referred to as the Infinity Saga. Following Robert Downey Jr.'s selfless act as Iron Man / Tony Stark and Chris Evans' Steve Rogers' character's passing of the Captain America mantle to Anthony Mackie's Falcon, Sam Wilson, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is now poised to encounter even more formidable tests. The Avengers are on the brink of grappling with monumental trials as the franchise embarks on the Multiverse Saga, spanning Phase 4, Phase 5, and Phase 6. This grand narrative will culminate with the release of Avengers 5, The Kang Dynasty, and Avengers 6, Secret Wars. Blade, a half-vampire, half-human vampire hunter portrayed by Mahershala Ali, is supposed to join the Marvel Cinematic Universe proper. This film's a reboot or remake of sorts of the Wesley Snipes-led Blade series of films. The film is meant to mark... Oh, they put some bad grammar here. The film is meant to mark a significant entry in Phase 5 of the MCU and is expected to bring a fresh take on the iconic character, promising action-packed vampire battles and thrilling storytelling. That's what they're promising. Will they make good on that promise? Doubtful. Originally, Wesley Snipes portrayed the iconic Marvel character Blade in a trilogy of action-packed films released in the late 1990s and early 2000s. Snipes' portrayal of a half-vampire, half-human vampire hunter earned critical acclaim and solidified Blade as a beloved figure in both the superhero and action movie genres. And that's before there's ever been a Marvel Comics based movie. Blade was the first. Now, there was like a Fantastic Four film, a Punisher film, and a Captain America film. They were all kind of released straight to video, but nobody really ever saw those, okay? But I want to see those one day. Maybe that'll be interesting to react to those movies, to have a watch along for those like three movies. I know the Red Skull was in Captain America, Doctor Doom was in the Fantastic Four, and I don't remember who the villain was in the Punisher. Dolph Lundgren, who played Nereus and Aquaman and will be reprising that role in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, played Frank Castle. So I definitely got to see that. In the Blade film series, the main characters include Blade, Wesley Snipes, a half-vampire hunter, Whistler, Chris Christopherson, his mentor and weaponsmith, Deacon Frost, Stephen Dorff, the primary antagonist, Karen Jensen and Bush Wright, a hematologist seeking a cure, Hannibal King, Ryan Reynolds, a former vampire hunter, and Abigail Whistler, Jessica Biel, Whistler's daughter, and a skilled vampire hunter in Blade Trinity. The new Blade movie, directed by Jan Demange, is scheduled for release on February 14th, 2025. So this bloodthirsty film is going to be released on Valentine's Day. What better way to say to the person you love, I love you? Not with a ring, not with Every Kiss Begins with K, but a bloody vampire movie in the theaters. If you can't make it through that movie, you don't deserve... No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. The vampire-themed superhero movie about the Marvel character Blade will also star Mia Goth, Aaron Pierre, and Delroy Lindo, who I am familiar with, in currently undisclosed roles. Is Blade as we know it gone for good? Recently, it was reported by known Hollywood and Marvel insider Daniel Reitman via Taverna Marvel that the movie Blade had yet hit another snag. Seemingly, the upcoming Blade movie would exist to effectively set up the MCU variants of the Midnight Suns superhero team from the comics, with Kit Harington's Black Knight and Oscar Isaac's Moon Knight also primed to take the stage. Highly likely to join up are sorceress Jennifer Cale, I don't know who that is, Sashir Zamata, set to debut in WandaVision sequel Agatha Darkhold Diaries. They renamed it from Coven of Chaos. Ghost Rider, rumored to be Nicolas Cage reprising this role. I liked that first Ghost Rider movie. I didn't see the second one though. And maybe even Morbius, the living vampire, Jared Leto in the Sony universe. Interestingly, in the Marvel Comics, Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch in the MCU, also joined the team later. However, it seems like Marvel Studios are unable to come to anything promising with this show and are reportedly scrapping the entirety of the film as it is, starting from ground zero. Clearly, if these reports are true, it definitely seems like the MCU Blade movie is in full production hell. Marvel fans have to wait till the fateful Blade release date to see how it all pans out, but with the introduction of the Midnight Suns on the horizon, Marvel Studios are going to have to get their stuff together if they want to pull this all off, and before Avengers Secret Wars torches the MCU as we know it. That is the end of the article. There's so much that I could say about this article, and maybe I'll just go by what I remember, because there's each line I was like, okay, I gotta talk about this. Okay. Midnight Suns. Let me tell you something right now. MCU fans are waiting for a group of superheroes that does not include any of these people. The anticipation is not there for the Midnight Suns. Come on, don't do this. Don't do this. You know who we want. We want the X-Men. And yes, I'm an MCU fan, okay? So don't ever get it mixed up. As vehement as I come on here and talk about how much I hate what they do, I'm a fan of the MCU. That's why that anger is there a lot of times, because I want to see them do well. Okay? We're waiting for the X-Men. We're waiting for the Fantastic Four. We don't really care about Thunderbolts. We don't in case you have to hear this, okay. We don't care about the Midnight Suns, even though it sounds like a great team. It almost sounds like Justice League Dark a little bit. But this sounds like a great team. But we don't want them as much as we want the X-Men or the Fantastic Four. Don't you get this? I almost feel like that old WWF commercial where at the end, Vince McMahon looking outside of Titan Towers and goes, "Get it? We want the X-Men. That's who we really want." And I did not know that Agatha's series was going to be called Darkhold Diaries. Now, that doesn't sound as charming as Agatha Coven of Chaos. Coven of Chaos almost sounded like, what was that? Is it Enchanted? The one where Bette Midler had like a trio of witches. It's like a comedy or whatever. Like, Agatha Coven of Chaos sounded like it was going to be a comedy. And it sounded like it would have a different tone. But this one, Darkhold Diaries, that sounds very dark. Hence the name Darkhold. The Multiverse Saga, it has not gotten off to a good start because of Phase 4 and the reception of Phase 4 after the conclusion of the Infinity Saga. Now again, if you look back on the movies of Phase 4, it's a jumbled mess. There's no cohesion to it. As I said, to me, The hallmark of Phase 4 was the Loki series. Loki Season 1 should have ended Phase 4. And Loki Season 2 should have began Phase 5 so that you can really get engrossed in the idea of the Multiverse Saga. Because if you think about it, even Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, that really doesn't deal with the multiverse. You just hear Kang throwing out a couple of lines, a stupid line. Are you the one with the hammer? Did he have a hammer in his hand? And then at the end, you see all the Kangs. You see Immortus. You see the, Scarlet, whatever. And you see Rama Tut, all portrayed by Jonathan Majors. And you see all these Kangs showing up. That suggested multiverse, but it was the mid-credit scene. It wasn't in the movie. And even the end credit scene with Victor Timely showing up in Loki, that helps reinforce a multiverse, but the movie had nothing to do with the multiverse. So let's look at some of the films and the projects from Phase 4. Loki, of course, dealt with a multiverse. As I said, was the standout of Phase 4. What's it called? Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. It's in the title Multiverse, but nothing sticks. It's almost like the multiverse was open, and then at the end of the movie, Doctor Strange just closed it all down. That's how it felt to me, okay? So that's 2. WandaVision dealt with a multiverse. I mean, it sort of hints at a multiverse by the ultimate, sandbagging of Fox fans. Yes, sandbagging. Is it called sandbagging? Yes, the Fox fans. You bring in one of the most beloved characters, Evan Peters, from the X-Men movies, as Quicksilver. And then he turns out to be some corny actor named Ralph Boner. How dare you? Seriously, how dare you? Anyway. And the Multiverse of Madness, you bring in beloved characters like Black Bolt, Reed Richards, and Patrick Stewart, who was the lead actor, sort of him and Hugh Jackman in the Fox films. You bring him in and you tease everybody. Why tease people when these are people that MCU fans want to see incorporated into the MCU? That's stupid of you. And we had, see how I get talking about the MCU? And we had Spider-Man Far From Home. So once again, you're trolling. Trolling. You're bringing in Willem Dafoe. You're bringing in Alfred Molina. You're bringing in Jamie Foxx, Thomas Hayden Church. I don't think Reese even had an appearance. He played the Lizard. You're bringing in Tobey Maguire. You're bringing in Andrew Garfield. But you're just teasing us. I mean, we don't know what they're going to do with the former Spider-Man movies. So all these things, it's like at the end of No Way Home, it's like, okay, so it's like, it looks like the multiverse is opening, and then it just closes again. That's how it felt. Because I saw No Way Home in the theaters. That's how I felt with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. That's how it felt with WandaVision. There doesn't seem like it's on the break of anything. That's why Loki is the standout. It's kind of like the hallmark of the Multiverse Saga, but that's only one project with all the other projects going on in Phase 4. So many projects do not deal with the multiverse. There's no connective tissue like there was in Marvel's Phase 1, 2, and 3. Because you knew Thanos is coming. Now here you learn that you kind of there was kind of rumblings that Kang was going to show up at the end of the Loki series. So when he showed up, we didn't see anything else or hear anything else about Kang. All these things going on in the comic accuracy. Everything that goes on, Kang the Conqueror has his thumb on everything. He's manipulating everything. And I always go back to Uncanny Avengers, okay? Where Kang is the big bad in the Planet X storyline. He's manipulating Apocalypse. He's manipulating Thor in Asgard. And then when all these chess pieces are moved into place and the chess pieces are kind of knocked over, that's when Kang steps back in, and you as the reader, you're like, that's right, Kang did do all this. And you're kind of reminded of Kang because of the Apocalypse twins. I don't remember their names right now. So you're always reminded that Kang is behind this. But when Kang himself shows up, you're like, whoa. You know what I mean? That wasn't done very well in Phase 4. It's like you're just spitballing, like what could Phase 4 possibly be about? So that's why the reception of Phase 4 wasn't as embraced as Phases 1, 2, and 3. You understand what I'm saying? And there was one more talking point that I wanted to talk about. Okay, yes. Tony Stark and Steve Rogers apparently not having anything to do with Phases 5 and 6. That's a huge step down, Kevin Feige and MCU. You haven't built up another character, another good guy, to fill their shoes. Yes, Captain America, Steve Rogers, passed the mantle off to Sam Wilson, portrayed by Anthony Mackie, and he's now Captain America. He doesn't have the same gravitas as Steve Rogers does as Captain America. And I know he spent the entire project of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which I really enjoyed. I think that was a very good series. But he's not Steve Rogers. He's not Captain America. And Iron Man, there's been no replacement for Tony Stark. Iron Man. Like, we know Ironheart is on the horizon. But nobody want to see Ironheart. Come on. We're going to replace, like, the main good guy, Iron Man, with Ironheart? Seriously? Ironheart! And usually, traditionally, the replacement for Iron Man has always been War Machine. Always! But now he's been, kidnapped by the Skrulls? And there's theories going around like, oh man, that probably wasn't even Rhodey in Civil War. So now you just neutered Rhodey or neutered War Machine as somebody to fill the shoes of Iron Man like he was always supposed to. So like in the writer's room, like doing the table reads, like, has anybody ever put their hand up like, Kevin, why are we doing this? Why? And how Blade fits into the Multiverse Saga? How? How does Blade fit into the Multiverse Saga when he's just a vampire hunter? I mean, I'm honestly asking the question. Blade doesn't deal with, like, interdimensional demons, does he? Well, even though Deacon Frost was trying to, like, open a portal to, like, attract, like, this blood god or something like that. But there was never any talk of the multiverse because of this blood god. That was more based on magic and, like, interdimensions, not really separate or parallel universes. So I kind of veered off the topic of Blade and Mahershala Ali led project to talk about the MCU's Phase 4, 5, and 6, the Multiverse Saga, which is named here in this article. But Blade has been troubled. Like, they switched directors. I did a story about it here on the Great Expanse by John Beth 426. Check my channel out for it. Mahershala Ali has said that these scripts aren't worth the toilet paper I use in my trailer to wipe my bum with. Oh yeah, and I just thought of the other point. How are we going to make a vampire movie and it's not rated R? How? It's not Blade unless there's blood, guts, and gore. I'm sorry, it's not Blade. There's no graphic violence, it's not Blade. It's plastic knife. That's all it is. It's not Blade. So again, this video went a little longer. I apologize for that. But again, the MCU is close to my heart because it's inspired by Marvel Comics. This was a main staple of my childhood. And it's not being a fascist, trying to bring my nostalgia to the rest of the world, but tell me good stories, please. Thank you. And if you like the video, if you like my response to this video, hit the like button so that the YouTube algorithm can see that we've got traffic coming in. Traffic going out. David Brent, please let them know where those comments or dissertations go, sir. Thank you, Mr. Brent. Wernham Hog's finest. Do your part, now do my part so that the Great Expanse by John Bett 426 can and will expand. It's in the name. And expand like the multiverse is supposed to.